Good morning, good afternoon, whichever time it is that you get to watch this. How are you? My name is Teresa Kenika. I am a psychologist at All Smiles Therapy Center and Rehabilitation Institute and Training Institute. Like we have three lines of business. So this evening, we are doing this past 5 p.m. There is something I've come across on social media, and not only that, we've been sent screenshots and we're being asked, especially for our clients who they're already doing some inquiries on our rehabilitation services. Well, it's absolutely not a good or not a comfortable topic to be talking about today. However, we also need to normalize getting to situations where we need to share what is not even comfortable. So I have seen this story about Dr. Susan Toto. Not so sure whether that's her right name, not so sure whether she's a doctor, but I've heard she's a psychologist. Personally, I don't know her. First, my condolences to the family, and may you find strength and peace at this time. Poleni sana. We are not trading on someone's loss. Whereas in any other time, we'll do a video and say, we want you to reach, we are creating awareness, or this is a marketing video. It's good to put a disclaimer. I'm just doing this video for some clarity. And this is coming from some of our clients making inquiries, wanting to know, when you say you admit people involuntarily, is this exactly what you talk about? I have no information. Have just been sent, have read some screenshot, have also gone online, have read even her last post. So that's the much information that I have. I have no information about the rehabilitation center where she was taken, and hence I'm not going to talk anything about that. I'll also not talk about her, but I had to mention her because she's the reason why we are holding this talk. And of course, we are doing this with all due respect to the family and considering what they could be going through today. Now, is it legal first to have involuntary admission? When you look at the Mental Health Act, it's legal to have involuntary admission. But, let me put a disclaimer. There is policies at which involuntary admission can take place. So it's not something that you can wake up today and you say, I want my person admitted and this is going to be involuntary admission. No. So what are the reasons that might lead to involuntary admission? Number one, if the person is about to cause harm, and in this case, we talk about severe harm to self and others. So to self, in a case of, let me use even the disorder that has been mentioned, in a case of bipolar, if someone is in a severe episode, whether mania, manic or hypomania, and you fight, especially when they are very aggressive, they are fighting, they're doing what, they're about to cause harm to themselves. Some will just be, kicking and having some fist with the wall, or some can even end up cutting themselves. So when someone is at harm or at a position, at a state where they are causing or about to cause harm to self, and this need to be justified clinically that they're about to cause harm to themselves. That's one of the reasons. Reason number two is where one is posing a risk or to cause harm to others. So when you're about to cause harm to self or others, of course, it goes deeper. There is the minor and all that. But please note, I'm talking about involuntary admission. And not just to cause harm because of criminal act or because of something that is illegal. No. It's to cause harm because of the disorder that you're going through. So for such, allow me to talk about addiction, because at All Smiles Rehabilitation or Inpatient Rehabilitation Center, what we deal with mostly is the substance use disorders. So in such a case, taking substance causes or poses harm to self. Taking substance takes away your insight, which means now, other than functioning the way cognitively you should be able to function, you are impaired. You're not able to think well. In fact, many are the times that people in addiction, they don't realize that actually they need help. They don't realize that the substance they're taking is really affecting them. So in such scenario, it means there is pose to harm self. You're about or you're already causing harm to self, and hence it's allowed to have involuntary admission in that case. And involuntary admission is not to punish you. This actually comes from wanting to help you. So this is the help that other people, they stretch out, be it the family members, could be your colleagues at work, could just be any other person. So they really want to help you out, and the only way for them to help you out is by calling for help, and hence involuntary admission. So we get to know this when we are doing the MSC. MSE is mental status examination, and they're just questions that will take through the loved ones who will call out for help. We get to know, how is the position of this person? How severe is it? What's the status? Is it someone that can't come over? So there is so many ways of involuntary admission. I can confess we've never at All Smile had any involuntary admission where we had to inject some clients. And not that we don't go equipped or go with the nurses, but there is more diplomatic ways of having this discussion. So what normally happens in a scenario where we are told by their loved ones, they will not agree, they will not come, they will not volunteer. In fact, they will run away. They will even cause more harm to other people or to self the moment they get to know that we're already deliberating to take them to a rehabilitation center. So in that scenario, we'll send a nurse, we'll also have a psychologist, we'll have a guard, and we'll have one of our support staff. So at any given point, we'll have 4 people. And those 4 people will drive all the way. We say we do pickups for involuntary admission across the country. So they'll drive all the way and they'll come. The moment they get in, remember, they're not just walking blindly. First, there is someone who has come in. There is no way we are going to set our people before you come in or before you write to us, because we need to have consent from the loved ones. We need to know your relationship with this person. Either you write to us or you come physically and you sign the forms and you let us know. There is also some payment, which is form of commitment, because this is off from the admission and the fees that goes on for the treatment plan. So you also need to have made the payment. There is no way we'll come even before the payment. So with that, we already have a contractual arrangement and agreement that we are coming under your consent. But the moment we come, number one, we do not, please note, there is a very big difference between involuntary admission and forceful admission. We do not admit people forcefully. What we do, we'll have our team coming in. Now they'll introduce themselves officially. This is who we are. They'll give their badges. We've been sent. You contacted who is so and so who contacted us, and here we are. So where is the person? And they will request to talk to the person, and they'll have conversation with the person. They'll get to know. They'll just identify themselves to the person, and they'll even tell them, we've come because we've been invited to come and pick you up for admission. They'll go ahead and do something we call psychoeducation. Now, 2 things. At this point, maybe when someone hears they're going to be admitted for rehabilitation center, they might even disappear. They might become physical, and so many things might happen. They might even threaten. So before they even say why they're there, we always communicate ahead of time. We'll ask you, for the kitchen, are you able to lock before you come to your house? Are you able to lock the bedroom? Are you able to lock? Because this person can just go to the kitchen, come with a knife or do something. Remember, not because they really want to cause harm, but they are sick. They need help. They have no insight to know what is good and what is, what is right and what is wrong. So those are some of the things that we do before, and we'll communicate with people there. So by the time we are coming in, we've also ensured that the place is safe. Remember, as much as we are talking about the safety of the client, there is also the safety of ourselves. Our nurses, they need to be safe. Our psychologists, the security guard, the support staff, the team that we send to your house, they also need to be safe. So at some point, we do say, of course, we prioritize their safety at the point of pickup, because at the point of pickup, remember, this person is not yet our client. We're just going to pick them up. So anything when there is the violence and all that, and have seen some cases, especially for very aggressive or for the severe hard drug use and all that, even a police officer is included. And so when we talk about the security guard, could be a police officer or a security guard. But in this case, remember, we're not talking about the armed. There is no way we are going to your house with a gun. Maybe the pinku, just to handcuff if need be. And please note, if need be, if even this person might be chaotic along the way and even make you like cause an accident or something. But like for our case, we've never encountered a case. As much as we have a mutual agreement with a police station that are nearby, we've never encountered a case where we needed to go with a police officer. So back to when they get in, they've already been communicated to, and their safety is also guaranteed, and now they start conversation. So during this time, we give the person 3 options. The first option is, we do not want to, to inject you, neither to take you by force, and we are just requesting that you cooperate because this is actually for you. So we let them know this is for you and the benefits around that. The second option is we let the person know. If that does not happen, then we will have now to have you, we follow you to the car and we ensure, you are sandwiched, and that's how we are going to go. And of course, the last one, there is the option of, which means there is no like a way out. Now you'll be sedated. Do you really want to get there when you can't even see where you are going? Why do you want really to be sedated? Please note, we don't sedate before we have the medical history. At time, we'll even ask the family, ensure we know about the diabetes, about the BP, all those things. We need to know before we say that our nurses, they are even ready to come for the pickup. And why it's important, you can't just go and sedate anyone. Maybe it might interfere or interact with other conditions that they have besides the addiction or the substance use. So we are also, in fact, and that's why I said, and I know this is going public and we have clients who will be able to watch out their loved ones. They can testify to this, that we've never had a scenario where we needed to go and sedate someone. It comes as the last option. And many other times, it can only be applicable if the option is also to ensure safety of everyone around, because not necessarily about our staff. Someone can say, it's you, mom, it's you, dad, it's you, brother, sister, and they're holding a knife or something. You might close the kitchen, but someone was eating, there is a spoon, or they just want to do something. So during that time, that's when that can apply, but we don't do that forcefully, as I'm saying. We'll only do if we want to rescue and to ensure there is safety for all. So having mentioned the three options that we normally give, ours we've always encountered, I am going to cooperate. I am here. In fact, that works so well. So that's what we talk about in voluntary admission. It's a process. It takes negotiation. People need to have mediation skills. You got there, you are, you need to have mediations with the person. You need to negotiate with them. Yes, I know it's for their own benefit, but they lack that insight, and hence they need to be convinced that indeed they need the help. And lastly, there is also another option we use. Really, involuntary doesn't mean that you need to have the team coming to your house. We can plan. We've done this so many, many, many times, where you just say, by the way, you're going to visit someone. And so as you are coming, you know you're going to visit someone. How we put up our rehabilitation center, you not even get to know that you're going to a rehabilitation center until you get inside. That's when you realize. Again, you don't get inside and now we start telling you, now you are here, there is no way you're going to run away. No, no, no. You'll still be taken through to why you've come. You'll still be taken through the entire program, what it entails, and the benefits that they're there for you as an individual. So by saying this, and I think that's what has worked, many other times we'll just say, before we even say we are coming to pick them up, what do they love most? Or is there anyone that you can say that they're going to visit? Or how can we work? At time it's been like someone, just take me for shopping. You'll go, you'll shop with them, you'll have them in your car, and now you call us and you say, oh, so you want to come and I pick something? I need to go and pick something somewhere. So this time we are the something somewhere until you get in. So there is, I know that's to trick, but if it can work, then why not? The main important thing is to have the person in the rehabilitation center have seen at the end of the day, they look back and they say, first, if I was offered that chance, I would not, in fact, I would have fought back. I would not have allowed to go to be admitted involuntarily. I think it would have been the end of me, or I would have, done something, harming the family, harming myself. But I'm very thankful that they took this. I'm very thankful that they decided to have this for me. Have seen such cases, and we did a video with Lynn Cookie. Francis is my brother, who shared about everything, his journey with addiction. His was also involuntary admission, and it worked so well. He didn't know, of course, he was talked to and he was told, by the way, you have no choice. The choice is you go there, you agree, you'll be sedated. But end of the day, the negotiations worked. But he said he didn't realize, even like 2 weeks later, that he needed the help. But at long last, this came to be a lifesaver. This came to offer him restoration. So let's not shy away because of what I've seen. Again, I say, with all due respect, this got nothing to do with saying our institution is better than the institution mentioned. No, 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 no. This got nothing to do with leveraging on death of someone to be able to sell ourselves. But again, it's our responsibility. Myself as Teresa Kainika, it's my responsibility to clarify where there is something that has occurred like that. And I know very well we have rehabilitation center. I know very well, and we say like 99% of our admission, they are all involuntary admission, because we've had inquiries, even people asking. So even the people you say, many they are involuntary, this is what you did to them, No, 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 I had to come and say, and I also do not know, I have no facts about this entire thing. So mine is just to make that clarity and let you know, yes, legally as per Mental Health Act, we are allowed to have the involuntary admission. However, you can never have that before it's clinically approved and it's clinically significant. And the person to prove about the significance is we need to have a psychiatrist who is able also to immediately you are admitted to assess, and they pen their signature, also to have a psychologist on board, so to have professionals who are bound by the principles and code of psychiatrists and psychological association that talks about what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to follow. And this comes with limits to confidentiality again, and not only limits to confidentiality, but also limits to you getting that voluntary admission. So not always you'll be voluntarily admitted in a rehabilitation center. That does not mean that they are committing any breach legally and professionally. But again, involuntary admission is very different from forceful admission. I have no facts of what happened. I am so sorry. I'm sorry to the family once more. I also empathize with the institution in whichever is they're going through, and I hope they're able to settle the issue and also make, like a public, they clarify in public, so that there is also that integrity and there is also the accountability, and so that people in future, they can also access help without having fear. Do you mean I'm not going, and in this case, please note, I'm talking about addiction. You mean I'm going to die in addiction and you want to admit me, then I go and die in a rehab? No, that does not happen. However, with whichever, what transpired, We just pray for justice, and we pray that everything works well for both the institution, for both the mentioned professionals, the doctors and all. And may Susan's soul rest in peace, and may her, may she get justice even as she's resting, and may peace and strength be with her family. So my name once again is Teresa Kaineka. I am a psychologist at All Smiles Therapy Center and Training Institute. And yes, we have an inpatient rehabilitation center. Bye-bye.